A very good morning, children. Again, I am virtually in front of you to explain the next part of a lesson, and it is very important for your higher classes also. Children, we are dealing the lesson 3, refraction of light at curved surfaces. Up to now, we have learned different types of lenses, their ray diagrams, image formations, and few activities, numericals, power. These all we have learned. In today's class, we have to learn one more important derivation, and this is related to trigonometry. So, unless and until a trigonometry lesson starts related to mathematics, I cannot start the derivation. Every year, when I'm teaching in the classroom also, after they finish trigonometry, I used to tell in the same way already maths trigonometry started. So, I have chosen the part in online. Please, children, pay very much attention, and listen carefully, children. And this is one of the important derivation where you are going to learn in 10th standard. But actually, the derivation part is not so much important in the examination point of view. Only the formula, what we are deriving, that is used for 2 mark questions. So, children, listen carefully. So, we have to derive a derivation for curved surface formula, or we can tell that relation between refractive indices of the media, object distance, image distance, and radius of curvature. So children, this is the ray diagram for the curved surfaces. Already we have done for rules and all in the introduction classes. I have shown this. So if you imagine this is a curved surface, okay, and this is your denser medium, it is your rarer medium. Once you check all the parameters what I am using here, so here N1 be the refractive index of a rarer medium and N2 be the refractive index of the denser medium, and here O is known as the object we have taken, and this is a principal axis, and C is a center of curvature point, and P is your pole of the lens, whatever we use here, and I is image formed. And this is one alpha, and N you have to take it is a normal, and this is beta angle, and here the angle here it is known as theta 1. I will tell you what's that, and this is your theta 2. So here if you consider an object at O very near to the principal axis, a ray which is going from the object falls on the curved surface at A. So this is your normal aligned joining. This is your normal passing through the center of curvature. You know that. So what happens to this? This is theta 1 is nothing but your angle of incidence. Since a ray traveling from rarer to denser medium, we know that ray refracted towards the normal. So this is the refracted ray. OA is the incident ray, and AI is a refracted ray. So image also, as O is a point object, image also will be in the point object. Okay, I hope you have understood up to here. And this from A to the N are perpendicular to the principal axis. So this is a picture. What are the terms I explained up to now? Keeping all those in mind, again I'll continue my theory. So children, consider a curved surface separating two media of refractive indices N1 and N2. O is a point object on the principal axis. The ray which forms an angle alpha with the principal axis makes the curved surface at A. Theta 1 is the angle of incidence. The ray bends and passes through the second medium along the line. Next, AI is the refracted ray in the second medium. Theta 2 is the angle of refraction. I is the image formed on the principal axis. Gamma is the angle made by the refracted ray AI with the principal axis. Beta is the angle between the normal and the principal axis. Children, whatever the explanation I have given in the picture, in the point wise, I have written all this. So once again, you go through these all points once again, children. So children, this is your curved surface. This is O and this is I and this is C, center of curvature, P pole, N1, N2, alpha, beta, gamma and theta 1 and theta 2. This is A point and this is N point. Okay, just you recollect all those points what I explained in the theory. Now coming to this slide, PO is the object distance. PO is the object distance because O is the object there and it is represented by U. PI is the image distance because I is the image here. It is represented by V. And as C is the center of curvature, PC is the radius of curvature, so it is represented with R. N1 and N2 are the refractive indices of two media. Now coming to the triangle ACO. ACO, you have to recollect your lower classes mathematics, what you have learned. Sum of interior angles is equal to exterior opposite angle. So that we apply here. So your theta 1 is the exterior opposite angle. Here where alpha and beta are interior angles. So apply that here. Theta 1 is equal to alpha 1, alpha plus beta. I hope you have understood this point. Similarly, when you go to the triangle ACI, the same thing here, ma. So this beta will be exterior and theta 2 and gamma will be the interior angle. So in this also you have to apply the same rule. Beta is equal to theta 2 plus gamma. I want theta 2. So that's why what happens here? Beta minus gamma. Now your theta 1 is, you know what is that? It is angle of incidence and theta 2 is angle of refraction. I hope you have understood when I explained the theory. So theta 1 in the terms of alpha and beta, theta 2 in the terms of beta and gamma. So I told children that alpha, beta and gamma are very small and I have given that sine 30 is 0.5. If sine 5 it will be very less. Instead of that you eliminate sine. In that sense I told for that. So here I am going to eliminate sine and I'll write my equation in the new way. How ma n1 alpha plus beta is equal to n2 beta minus gamma. This is your first equation has changed in this way. Now you just multiply n1 into alpha plus beta and n2 into beta minus gamma. So that equation changes to n1 alpha plus n1 beta, that is equal to n2 beta minus n2 gamma. That is your equation 2. Now coming to this triangle, just consider A and O. You take object side and you take A and O triangle. For that, this is your alpha. What is tan ma? I hope you have remembered that is opposite by adjacent. For this alpha which is opposite AN and which is adjacent NO. So I have written tan alpha is equal to AN by NO. Why I have estimated alpha here? Because I told you if alpha is very less, tan alpha is approximated to alpha. So that's the reason alpha is equal to AN by NO. Similarly, when you go to the next to take beta angle, here beta, you take a triangle A and C for beta which is opposite AN and which is adjacent NC. So tan beta is approximated to beta, already I told you, because of paraxial rays, that gives you AN by NC. Next you go to the tan gamma. Here it is your gamma. Okay. So here also you have to take I image. So for that triangle you consider ANI. For this which is opposite children, AN and NI will be the adjacent. So tan gamma is equal to gamma, that equal to AN by NI. So now your equation 2, just because to know what is alpha, beta, gamma, here I have implemented these all. Now just listen, N1 alpha plus N1 beta, that is equal to N2 beta minus N2 gamma. That is equation 2. Later we proceed. So taking the equation 2 again, children, N1 alpha plus N1 beta is equal to N2 beta minus N2 gamma, equation 2. Now I am going to substitute alpha, beta, gamma in this. So N1 An by No, N1 An by Nc already we have done there. N2 is equal to An by Nc minus N2 is An by Ni, that is equation 3, remember. And one more point here you have to remember, as the rays move very close to the principal axis, the point N coincides with the P. Here I told this ray is very close to the principal axis, automatically a ray which falls at A, that is A to N, and A to P is almost similar, children. That is the reason what I'll take is, instead of N, I will go with P. So all our NO, NC and NI will change to, NI is changed to PI, NO is changed to PO, NC is changed to PC. So our equation 3 is N1 AN by NO, this N1 AN by NC, that is equal to N2 AN by NC minus N2 AN by NI. So I told you we have to estimate in the place of N, I have to write NO, PO, NC is PC, NC is PC, Ni is Pi. So this equation 3 has changed like this. N1 An by PO, N1 An by PC, that is equal to N2 An by PC minus N2 An by Pa. Now, if you take common An this side and you take common An this side, both sides An gets cancelled. So you are left with N1 by PO, N1 by PC, that is equal to N2 by PC minus N2 by Pi. Now just see ma. So here this minus comes this side. So our equation change like this. N1 by PO plus N2 by PI is equal to N2 by PC. This plus goes that side, becomes negative, minus N1 by PC. Now here N1 by PO plus N2 by PI, that is equal to, we have here denominator same, so I can subtract the numerators, N2 minus N1 by PC. Now you take this as equation 4, children. So this is all we have substituted in equation 3 and we got the equation like this. N1 by PO plus N2 by PI is equal to N1 minus N2 by PC. That is your equation 4. And this equation shows the relation among refractive indices of the media. Next, object distance, image distance and the radius of curvature. If we take sign conventions like PO is equal to minus U, PO is object distance. We know that always object distance will be negative, and Pi is image distance, that is taken as positive. Next, you have to remember the rules here. PC is also positive. Substituting these values in 4, we get N2 by V minus N1 by U. Here I am taking minus here, children. So N2 by V minus N1 by U, that is equal to N1 minus N2 by R. This is your equation where we have to remember for the curved surface formula. What is the curved surface formula? N2 by V minus N1 by U, that is equal to N1 minus N2 by R. And it can also be used for plane surfaces, children. So this is used for plane surfaces where radius of curvature approaches to infinity, then 1 by R tends to 0. So the other term becomes 0. So the equation 4 can be written like this. N2 by V minus N1 by U is equal to 0. That implies N2 by V is equal to N1 by V. So this is the equation where you have to use for plane surfaces, children. So children, in today's class, we have learned a derivation for curved surface. Okay, with that, I complete my lesson of today. I hope children, you have understood. Derivation is not much important for your examination point of view, children. only to understand. On the last part where we have done an equation, n2 by v minus n1 by u is equal to n2 minus n1 by r. That is only most important derivation you have to remember. And one more also I have told, for plane surfaces n2 by v is equal to n1 by u. These two formula you have to remember, children.